Hello world, welcome to my channel. I am Sahil and you are watching fifth video of the series Custom Authentication System using Laravel 8 and Ajax. In previous video you have seen that how I have worked on user registration. Now today in this video I am going to show you how to work on user login. Okay, so let's start. So open your project. Okay, so this is our project. Now just close this register.blade.php file and open login.blade.php file. Okay, now from this file we will send another Ajax request to the server. Okay, so here in a script section, first we will use a script tag here, then we will define the ready function, jQuery ready function. Okay, now inside this what I will do is, if we go to the top, then here you can see there is a form tag, and in this form tag we have used an id attribute with the value login underscore form. Okay, so we will use this id to submit this form. Okay, so just here I will select the form using the id, and then I will use submit event function parameter e. First we will use e dot prevent default to stop the page refresh. Okay, now next we will select the login button. Okay, so you can see this is the submit button, and there is an id also here, login underscore btn. So I will use this id to change the text of the login button. Okay, so here just dot well, please wait. Okay, now next we will use Ajax method to send Ajax request to the server. Okay, so first here I will use url. In url we will define the route where we'll send the Ajax request. Okay, so for this just go to web.php file. Okay, and here we will define another route, and this will be also a post method, and here just write login, and here I will write user controller colon class, and here just write the method name login user. Okay, and here I will name this route auth dot login. Okay, auth dot login. Now just go to login.blade.php file, and here I will write a method name route and auth dot login. Okay, now next I will use method will be post, and data will be form data. Okay, so here I will use this dot serialize method to grab all the form input field data. Okay, and data type will be JSON, and in success I will use function response. For now I will use console log to display the response. Okay, save this. Now we have to handle this Ajax request in the user controller.php file. Okay, so just open this file, and here what I will do is just write a comment handle login user Ajax request. Okay, and here we will define method public function login user. Okay, and here I will use request. Okay, first I will check that the data is coming from the client or not. So here I will use print r method, and here I will use $_post. Okay, to get this response we have to go to login.blade.php file and just comment this data type JSON. Okay, now if I come here and just open the console and refresh this page. Okay, so here if I enter anything in these input fields and click on login, so you can see here in the console we are getting back all the input field data. It means our Ajax request is working fine. Okay, so next what I will do is just uncomment this data type and go to user controller.php file. Okay, now here first we will validate the input field, that is email and password field. Okay, so to validate I will use validator equal to validator, and I will use make method request all. Okay, request all, and inside this I will define the validation rule. Okay, so for email I will use required. Okay, and this will be an email, so just write email and max length will be 100. Okay, now next is password, so just write password, and this will be also a required field, so just write required, and minimum of 6 characters, so just write min colon 6 and then max colon 50. Okay, after that I will use if condition to check that validation is success or fails. Okay, so here I will write validator fails. If validation failed, then we will return a JSON response to the client. Okay, so here I will write return response JSON. Okay, now inside this JSON method I will use status 400. Okay, and messages, in messages I will send the message back, get message back. Okay, and if validation will success, then in else condition we will first get the user by email. Okay, so here create a variable user equal to then user model, then here I will use where, and then we will find the user by email, and we will just use request then email, and here we will just write first to get only one row. Okay, and inside this else condition we will again use if condition, and then we will check if user found, then we will check for the password. Okay, so again inside this if statement we will use another if statement, and here we will again use has class, and then I will use check method this time. Okay, so first we will match the password from this input field, and we will match with the password that is stored in the table, that is this hash password. Okay, so first we will use request arrow password, and then we will get the password from the database with the user password. Okay, if password will match, okay, then in this case first we will just use request, and we will use session, and we will store the user ID in the session. Okay, so here we will use request session and then put, and here we will write the key. Okay, the key of the session, so here I will write logged in user. Okay, logged in user, and here we have to provide the value, so here I will store the user ID, so here just write user arrow ID. Okay, and we will also return a JSON response to the client. Okay, so here just write return response and JSON. Now inside this I will use status 200. Okay, and messages in success. Okay, and if password will not match, then in this case I will use else condition. And in else condition, what I will do is I will return another JSON response JSON. Okay, now inside this again I will use status. Now this time I will return status 401, and in messages I will return email or password is incorrect. Okay, and if user is not found, then in this case we will send another JSON response to the client. Okay, so here I will return response JSON, and here I will send status 401. Again we will send 401, and we will send messages user not found. Okay, or anything that you want to send to the client. Okay, so just save. And now if you go to the login.blade.php, okay, so everything is okay here. Now just come here and refresh. Now suppose here I will write any random email ID and password and click on login, then you can see we are getting a status 401 user not found. Okay, so let's check the database. So this email ID is not present in the table, that's why we are getting user not found. Okay, suppose let's copy this email ID. Okay, let's copy this email ID and go to login. Just paste this email ID, but write the wrong password here and click on login. So this time again you will get a status 401, and the message is email or password is incorrect. Okay, so suppose I will enter the correct password here, and let's see what it returns. So click on login. So you can see we are getting a status 200 and message success. Okay, so now we will handle these JSON response. Okay, and we will display the validation message also just below these input fields. Okay, so here what I will do is just come here and first just remove this console log. Here we will use show error method that is already defined in previous video in this function.js file. Okay, so error method. Okay, so I'm using this method. So show error, and here, sorry, before calling this show error method, I will first check a condition. If response.status is equal to 400. Okay, now 400 means some validation error, because here you can see if validation fails, then we are sending a status 400. Okay, that's why here we are checking if response.status is equal to 400. Then in this case we will use this show error method, and here we will use the ID of the input field, that is email, and here we will display the validation message in the invalid feedback div. Okay, so response dot messages dot email. Okay, similarly we will display the validation error for the password. So just write password, and here just write the ID of the password field. Okay, and just duplicate this, and here we will just write login. Okay, now again we will use else if condition, and here we will check response.status is equal to 401, Now in this case, what I will do is I will first go to here and just above this font tag I will create a div with id login underscore alert. Okay, login underscore alert. Just copy this id and here I'll select the id I will select the div using id login underscore alert, and then I will use HTML method, and then we will use show message method that is already defined in the function.js file. Okay, now here I will use danger alert type, and here we will display the message, so response dot messages. Okay, and here also we will just duplicate this line and paste here. Now in else condition, if everything is okay and both email and password is correct, now in this case we will just use else if again. Okay, else if, and here else if, actually in else condition we will use if. Okay, and inside this we will check response dot status is equal to 200. Okay, and we will also check response dot messages is equal to success. Okay, then in this case we will redirect to the dashboard page or profile page, whatever you want to say. So here I will use window dot location is equal to, and here we will use let's in text route, and here I will write profile. Okay, profile. Save this. Now if I save this and go to the browser and refresh, now here you can see route profile is not defined, so we have to define this profile route. So just go to web.php file, and here I will define route get profile, and here user controller class. Okay, and here just profile method, and I will also name this route profile. Okay, save this. Now if I come here and refresh, then you can see there is no any error displaying. Now if I just enter any email ID and password and click on login, then you can see user not found. And if we just click on login without entering any value in email and password field, then let's see what happens. So you can see the email field is required and the password field is required. Okay, so suppose here I have written the email ID but not the password field. So if I click on login, then you can see this password field is still validating, but this email is not. Okay, so here we have to provide the password. So if I just write any incorrect password and click on login, then you can see email or password is incorrect. Okay, and if I enter correct password and click on login, then you can see we are on profile page, but this profile page is not created, so does not exist. Error message is displaying. Okay, so let's quickly create this profile page. Okay, so inside this views directory we will create profile dot plate dot php. Okay, here I will just display a message profile page. Okay, and just go to the user controller dot php file, and here profile page. Okay, and here just define a method public function profile. Okay, just return a view, return view profile. Okay, save this. If I come here and refresh, then you can see profile page. Now next we will create a logout link to this profile page. Okay, so just come here and go to profile.plate.php file, and here I'm just creating a simple logout link. Just write logout, and here we have to specify a route. Okay, auth dot logout. Okay, now just define this route. So here I will use route get logout user controller class logout, and here I will name it auth dot logout. Okay, save this. Now we have to define this method into the controller, so just copy and go to the user controller.php file, and here logout method. Okay, so here I will just write if public function logout, and here we'll check a condition if session has this key set, login user key set, then in this case what we will do is first we will destroy this key by using session pull method. Okay, and here we will just write logged in user, and then we will use return redirect to the home page, that is our login page. Save this. Now if I just come here and refresh, then you can see the logout link. Now if you click on logout link, then you can see we are on login page. Okay, now from URL, if we want to access profile page without login, then in this case we can access this page. Okay, and if I just go back from here, then we can go to the login page also. So to prevent this, we have to create a middleware. Okay, so to create a middleware, just open your terminal and just create a new terminal. Okay, so just click on plus symbol, and here just write php artisan make middleware and the name of the middleware. So here I am writing login check and hit enter. Okay, now you can see middleware created successfully. Now just close this terminal. Now open this app directory, then this http directory, then inside this middleware folder there is a file login check.php is created. Okay, so this is our middleware file. Now before coding anything inside this file, first let's open this kernel.php file. Here we have to just assign our middleware into this route middleware property. Okay, so here just write login check, and then here provide the path, so app http, then middleware, then login check class. Okay, save this and close this file. Now in login check, what I will do is I will just here check a condition if not session, if session has logged in user. If session has not logged in user, it means this key is not set. And also request path is not equal to home page, that is login page, and also request path is not equal to register. Okay, then in this case just use return redirect to the login page. Okay, and again if we just use if session has, in case if logged in user session has been set, then in this case we will also use and request path is equal to login page or request path is equal to register. Okay, so in this case, register, so in this case we will use return back. Okay, save this. Now we have to just go to this web.php file, and here we have to define a route group. Okay, where we'll keep all the route which we want to prevent from accessing without login. Okay, so here just create a route group. Now in this route group we will apply the middleware login check. Okay, so first here I will use middleware. Now here we have to write the middleware name. So middleware name is login check, and then here just define a function. Now inside this function we will keep all the routes that we want to prevent. So I will keep this logout. Okay, and I will also keep this login page route. Okay, and we will also keep this profile route. Okay, and for now just save this. Okay, and come here and refresh. Now if we try to access profile page without login, then let's see what happened. Profile, so you can see we are not redirecting to the profile page, and instead we are redirecting back to the login page. Okay, so it's working fine. Now if we just log in with the correct credential, so you can see we are redirected to the profile page. Okay, and if you want to go to the login page, then let's see what happens. So you can see we cannot go to the login page once we are logged in. Okay, and if we want to go to the register page, then let's see what happens. So we can go to the register page. Now to fix this, just go to the user controller file and just go to the top. Now here what I will do is, here in register method, what I will do is just use a condition. If session has logged in user, in this case use return redirect profile page. return redirect profile page, and in else we will redirect to the register page. Okay, so save this. Now if we just refresh this page, now this is profile page, and if you want to go to the login page, then you can see we are not going to the login page. And if we try to go to the register page also, then we cannot go to the register page once we are logged in. But if we just click on log out, now we can go to the login page, and we can also go to the register page. Okay, so next what I will do is, if we just, let me show you, if I just write the email ID, correct password and login, then you can see we are on profile page. But if we just click on logout, then we are on login page, and if we click here the browser back button, then we are on profile page. Okay, so this should not happen. So to fix this, we have to just go to login check.php file, and here in return next request we have to send some header. Okay, so here I will use header. Now in this header I will use cache control cache control, and here I will just use no cache and no store, and also max age equal to 0, and must revalidate. Okay, and we will also send one more header with the key pragma, and here I will write no cache. We will send one more cache, header, and here I will write expires. Okay, and in value just give some previous date, old date. Okay, so just write set 01 Jan 1990 and time 000000 GMT. Okay, now save this, and now if we just now if I just log in again with my name @gmail.com, click on login, so you can see we are on profile page. Now from, if we try to go to the login page just by removing the profile, then you can see we cannot go to the login page. But if we click on logout, then we are on login page. But if you want to access by just clicking this back button of the browser, then let's see what happens. So you can see we cannot go to the profile page by just clicking this back button. Okay, so that's it for this video. In next video I'll show you how to work on user profile page. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Please like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. See you soon in the next video.